On BBC Radio Cornwall. Have you ever taken part in a village show? I bet you've been along to one as well from time to time. Mass gatherings obviously banned at the moment, and plans for those village and horticultural and agricultural shows that occur later in the year are being cancelled, sadly left, right and centre. But one popular village show in southeast Cornwall has been holding events for the past 3 weeks, via social media, of course. The Facebook page Virtual Stoke Climsland Show 2020 is being loaded with videos and photographs from current projects in gardens or allotments. Dig deep and all of that, yes, to a photograph of water as well. Oh, there you are, the running sound there of water. This was Stoke Climsland Jane Coombe explaining her water photo.
Well, my water entry, I've been looking at people's entries, and there's the most beautiful sea views and dogs jumping in the river and the most amazing photography, lovely places that people have been. But because my husband's been unwell, we actually haven't been anywhere since the end of December. And I was thinking I was actually going to put the commode in, and I thought that's not very pretty. But then I looked at our front door, and we have a hand washing station in case we need any medics to come in. And I've got a bowl of water and some hand wash and a towel. But I've also got a little label that we're Christians, and I bought this at a Christian festival. It says, Jesus may have washed your sins away, but you still need to wash your hands. So that's by the front door for anybody who does come in and needs to wash their hands. So that was my only water entry that I could think of.
Gail Kirkpatrick is on the Stoke Climsland Show committee and says the current project in garden or allotment has a brand new category this year, a bit of a show first.
We've had a huge amount of entries from people that have never entered the show before. So we've had people that have renovated a garden bench and painted it with, and it's just brought out this huge amount of work that, of course, we're all doing at home and, you know, looking around for things to do. And we're all just sharing our progress. So it's absolutely brilliant. The support we're getting and just the sense of everybody being included from the village is absolutely brilliant.
Some real busy bees in Stoke Climsland by the sounds of it. Let's chat to the chairman of that committee now, the Stoke Climsland Show, Derek Ross. Morning, Derek.
Morning, James. How are you?
Good. Very well, thank you very much. Sounds like people have really embraced this.
Well, yes, we were planning the show back in March, and obviously the virus had arrived over our heads, and we thought this isn't going to go away. And we thought on the grounds of health and safety, we cancelled the show back in March. And clearly people had time on their hands. And we thought, well, somehow all these lovely gardens and allotments and the crafts and so on, not going to waste, but part of the fun of the show is to share things with other people and apart from socialising and so on. And we thought, well, what can we do about this? How can we reenact the show as it were behind the scenes? So this is very much down to Gail and Verity, who you heard a moment ago. And they said, let's do a Facebook, because, you know, sharing and showing is part of the fun. And so off they went, and we had our first week about 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, as you say. And there are 4 or 5 topics every week, which involve the family and the parents. And it's just taken off like a rocket.
Sounds like a brilliant idea. Do you think you've had more engagement with the show this way than perhaps you might have done ordinarily?
Well, I think the hope is normally we have a very strong support anyway. The show, last year we had 2,500 entries. It's a very big show for a small village. And as I say, hundreds of people come along to support the show. And, I think one of the hopes is that certainly there are names appearing on the Facebook page I don't recognise. And if they've enjoyed it, they may come to the show next year as well.
That's great, isn't it? The opportunity there. What about the judging and all of that? I mean, certainly as far as the produce is concerned, things like the cakes and the jams and things like that, if people have been doing that, you're not going to be able to do any of that. How does the virtual tasting work?
Well, we don't. It's purely a fun thing, James. We agreed from the word go that normally the normal show, we use local judges. We have a local president. It's all local people, okay? And there are cups and there's prize money. But this is very much a fun thing to get people involved. And so people can see other people's gardens and see their photographs. As Jane was saying, it's not serious, it's not competitive, it's just a fun thing.
Well, we all need a bit of light relief, don't we, quite frankly, at the moment. Your show's been going quite a long time now, hasn't it?
Well, it started before the First World War, well before I was born. And I think the only breaks from the show have been the 2 world wars. And, of course, back in March, we cancelled this year's show. And, like many other shows locally, latterly, they've cancelled as well. So it was a wise thing to do.
Now, you say you've been sort of staggering this over weeks, so is it ongoing? And if so, when does it finish?
We've run it right through until the show date, which would have been August the 3rd. And for the way it's going at the moment, I think we'll carry on doing that. So there are various topics for every week for the adults and the children as well. So I think we'll keep it going.
Yeah, good for you. As chairman, are you allowed to enter or not?
I do enter, yes. I personally, I don't do Facebook, so I enter my photographs and my comments through one of my colleagues, Verity. But I can enter, yes. It's not a competition. It's purely for fun and to share with other people.
Well, I love it. I think it's a great idea, and it's brilliant that it's, helping to bring the community together. And as you said, people whose names you hadn't necessarily recognised before also getting involved. Who knows, next year, when fingers crossed everything is, back to normal, then you'll have even more people going through the doors for that show. Great to talk to you, Derek. Have a lovely bank holiday day. It's a beautiful day, isn't it? Go on, say again.
Can I just do one plug whilst I'm on air?
Yeah, go for it.
Next year's show, God willing, will be on August the 7th, starting at 2:15 on the village green. Come and support us. And James, through BBC Cornwall, come and see us by all means.
Lovely. Thank you very much for the invite.